Presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Western Conference battles, always fun. This time it's the San Antonio Spurs intent on protecting home court. Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Lillard at the point with C.J. McCollum playing the 2. Al-Farouq Aminu is out there with Mo Harkless. And it's Plumlee in the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And guys, when you watch the Spurs play, it's like watching poetry in motion. I mean, every cut, every screen comes at a precise time, and they play beyond the sum of their talents because of that style.
Out of bounds.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge. On defense, the Spurs. And Lillard kicks to Aminu. Offensive rebound. There's the feed to McCollum. His first shot is a miss. 0 for 1 to start the contest.
The defense there got away with a major lapse. Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
Lillard. And the rejection by Leonard. They recover it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And the basket by Lillard.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Harkless with the steal. And so just over a minute and a half played. The shot's good from Plumlee. Spurs have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Pass to Green. It's stolen by Aminu. That's a 2 from Lillard. And that one hits back iron.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open. I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Parker with the steal. It's stolen by Aminu. And now running up the court, Lillard pushing it up. And the rejection by Leonard. Aminu with the bucket. Aminu's got his first basket. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Trailblazers.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also, they're jumping on a lot of turnovers, making sure they turn them into points at the other end.
Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. Spurs trail by 3.
And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim, unabated in stride.
First personal foul, team strike.
The Spurs shooting their first free throw of the game. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Ed Davis is checked in for Plumlee. Myers Leonard comes in for Al-Farouq Aminu. Gerald Henderson, he's checked in for Maurice Harkless. And Krabs subbed in for Damian Lillard. Free throw, no good for Green. As magical as the 2014 playoffs were for the Blazers, remember they beat Houston in that first round, that great shot by Lillard late to win it and move on. 2015, not as much. You know, Greg, they drew a very tough Memphis team, as you recall, in the first round.
Yeah, you often talk about styles making fights. Very similar in this series. They would go on to drop the first 3 games before being bounced, but still a good showing for a team that struggled mightily down the stretch with injuries.
Now here's McCollum after Henderson's miss. McCollum with the ball. Now Green defending. Davis kicks to Henderson. That is good.
And, you know, just as you said, Portland didn't have enough to get by the Grizzlies in the first round. Ended up losing in 5 after taking 1 game, and that was game 4. Just had a hard time breaking down the Memphis defense.
Here's Duncan. Soft touch off the glass.
That is such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
It's one thing to get the steal, but to so alertly turn it into a transition opportunity, even better.
For 3.
Another loss for the Blazers when they were the 4th seed, as you mentioned. As a franchise, they have lost in the first round every time they have ended up as the 4th seed. Not exactly a good position for them to be in.
Now here's McCollum. The dish out to Leonard. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Clock at 6. Davis kicks to Henderson. No good on the 3.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
Leonard kicks to Green. Just 3 on the clock. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. Trailblazers lead by 4. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports.
And now, your Spurs dance team.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And for Portland guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
I just really like what we're seeing from a defensive standpoint, forcing a lot of turnovers with those quick hands.
Yeah, those active hands, Greg, have produced a number of steals early. They've been very aggressive.
Trailblazers leading by 4. Last season, Portland won the Northwest Division and had a good year, certainly, but they had some issues when they were the away team on the road and away from the Rose Garden. They had some problems.
Yeah, actually played under 500 on the road, Kevin. Something you rarely see out of a team that wins 51 games.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the floor for San Antonio, Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Duncan is up there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in the small forward. And Portland making a change here. Conley is checked in.
Looky here, looky here. How about that one? That play. Take that play and put it in the alley-oop textbook for future reference.
Perfectly done. He put it on a platter for him. Gosh, that was neat.
And guys, how about the touch there on the finish? Really just flawless.
And Lillard kicks to Aminu. No good with the triple.
And as you said with the Blazers, they were the only team to win 50 games and still lose more than they wanted on the road. Last team to do that was the 2013 Denver Nuggets. And really, he epitomizes what a point guard should be. I mean, his skills as a passer might actually be matched by that creativity he shows around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
That's his first personal foul.
And we saw a similar first-round exit for the Blazers in that 2013 Nuggets team. If the Blazers want to go deeper this season, they'll need to be much tougher on the road.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
And listen, San Antonio is an older team, actually the oldest in the league last season. And because of injuries and days off, they didn't get to field that preferred starting five a lot last year.
Catching up on the changes for Portland. Ed Davis is checked in for Noah Vonleh. Myers Leonard comes in for Harkless. And Krabs subbed in for C.J. McCollum. Leonard with the steal. And the rejection by Leonard. Here's Aminu. And he gets the bucket. Aminu's got 6. Spurs only used their preferred lineup less than half the season, but still a strong campaign. 22 games played with the starting lineup of Parker, Green, Leonard, Duncan, and Splitter.
And, you know, the Spurs will go on to use 23 different starting lineups, Kevin. That would be the 5th most in the NBA.
It's rebounded by Leonard.
There's no getting around the simple fact that that's a shot he has to knock down.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
And Anderson slams it in.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out? Almost like the 1-2 punch.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. Well, as Gravy is talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
Different look now for Portland. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Davis. Henderson comes in for Al Farouk Aminu. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Alan Crabb. Trailblazers leading by 7. Plumlee with the screen. Henderson with the screen for Lillard. The rebound by the Spurs.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
The Trailblazers have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Shot's good. Henderson's got the lead up to 9 now for the Trailblazers.
They've really flipped things around offensively.
Yeah, and anytime you can make more than half of your shots, you'll take that.
They push it up 4 on 3. And Lillard throws it down.
And how about that one-man fast break?
I love the power finish at the end of it, too. All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
Leonard, the pass to McCollum. Baseline try. West with some nice D. It's Ginobili on the wing. He is guarded by McCollum. Aldridge dishes to Anderson. Aldridge kicks to Mills. And stolen by Lillard. There's 38 seconds left in the first half. In transition, here come the Spurs. Anderson with the ball.
That's really how they're going to get back into this game, trim the lead. I mean, play tough defense, force some turnovers, and then push it to the other end.
And Clark, those steals allow you to play in the open floor.
Now here's Henderson. He has 7. The layup off target. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
San Antonio, the timeout.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, might as well make those adjustments right away.
Trailblazers making a switch here. Now here's McCollum. He's tightly guarded. Green with the rebound. Right side Aldridge. And that concludes the first half. It's the Trailblazers. They lead by 9. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. And the third quarter about ready to get underway. All right, the second half beginning in just a moment.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Portland leading by 9. On the floor for Portland. Lillard at the point with C.J. McCollum playing the 2. Harkless is out there with Aminu, and it's Plumlee in the center position. Here's Aldridge, and it's good on the assist by Parker. Well, you've got Greg Popovich, and I think he puts this at times grumpy demeanor in more of a spotlight. He's playing along, as we all know, with the sideline reporters. He knows, Greg, you know this firsthand, when to turn it on, when to turn it off. He can be as compassionate a person, Clark, that you and I have ever been around.
Yeah, he's competitive, but he understands that we're all human, and he treats people the right way all the time.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Count that one.
My goodness, how about the degree of difficulty on that shot?
When you're hot, you're hot. And he is absolutely scorching.
Well, Portland had another strong season against the rest of the West. Ended up with a record of 31-21 in the conference, and that was good enough to earn them the 4th spot in the West.
Now a timeout called by Portland. Portland did end up 4th in the West, as you said, Greg. You're talking about that, and their 31-21 in-conference record was the exact same as it was at the end, Clark, of the 2014 season.
Well, actually, Portland won more games in 2014 than they did last season, ended up 4th in the conference, mostly because of how they won their division.
Davis is checked in for Portland. Trailblazers leading by 10. Here's Lillard, and it's sent back by Aldridge. Harkless with it, looking for his first basket still in this one. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Harkless has got the lead up to 12 now for the Trailblazers. Here's Duncan. No good. Now Portland takes it the other way.
Even with that miss, they're shooting 75% coming out of the break. That's a strong start to the half.
Assistant
Davis.
Mo Harkless.
Boom, he jams it straight down.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Now, here's Lillard. 14 points, their largest lead in the game. Whoa!
Goodness.
Woo. It's not possible what we just said. Clark, is that possible?
Not
Is it?
probable, but it is possible, partner. It is possible.
And think about it, guys. That's
Smokes.
one of the few guys in the entire league who can pull off something like that.
Lillard, the pass to Harkless. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Harkless has got his second basket of the game.
An even stronger second half. Tremendous efficiency at the offensive end of the floor.
Yeah, they're in a nice zone right now, and that basket looks, you know, it can handle 2 balls at once. It looks like now it could probably, for them, handle 3 or 4 balls at once as well as they're shooting it.
Portland with the ball, following the bucket by the Spurs. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Portland did a lot of things right last year in their 51-win season. The one constant for them was how they played defense.
You know, Kevin, they were good all season long in terms of staying focused on that side of the ball. Really made sure to challenge every shot, and with their length and reach, they should be a factor defensively.
You know, he might be small for a center, but it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Yeah, you know, as you said, Portland challenged every shot last season. They were a top 10 team in limiting opponents' shooting percentage. They were also best in the league in limiting three-pointers.
There are a lot of different approaches on defense. Portland challenged shots and didn't make risky plays. They were last in turnovers forced last year, but overall, they had a strong defense.
And the Spurs with some changes. Boris Diaz checked in for Duncan. Ginobili comes in for Green. And it's Martin in for Parker. Portland also making some changes. Gerald Henderson, he's checked in for Aminu. And Krabs subbed in for Lillard. Martin goes in. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
At the line for your Spurs.
It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost. That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, guys, that might also put a little spark into those guys. No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
The Trailblazers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. Both free throws good from Crabbe. 12 seconds left to play in the 3rd. It's stolen by Davis. Here's Henderson. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Trailblazers lead by 16. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the 4th quarter gets underway. Welcome back. 4th quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. San Antonio calls timeout.
That was a good time to call the timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
Spurs trail by 16. The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Aldridge out there with Duncan. And it's Leonard in the 3 spot. That's the San Antonio 5.
Personal foul. Shooting for San Antonio.
And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats here for Portland?
At the line for 2.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
And guys, the thing that jumps out at me is their block shots. I mean, they're playing up on the shooters tightly, and then they're sending them packing. I mean, putting those shots in reverse, all in a clear, good day's work.
And he can't hit the second. For a while, the Spurs were viewed as a slow-it-down team from their championships almost a decade ago. That isn't the case at all anymore, though.
You know, I think it took the viewing public quite a while to catch on, though, Kevin, because now most people look at the Spurs as one of the more exciting brands of basketball in our league. Just watching one game of them, and now you know that is the case. Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively, and Clark off.
Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how, Clark. Brilliant throwdown.
Just exerting his authority on that play.
And so it's San Antonio with it. Spurs trail by 11. That's not as easy as it made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary.
You know what?
Man.
That man can climb a ladder.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
And really just trying to take the wind out of their sails here, I think. You know, they're on the wrong end of a run and need to just kind of exhale.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to stop the bleeding. Things were starting to spiral completely out of control, and I think a timeout was a no-brainer there.
Find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, Kevin. I was able to hear the advice Terry Stotts gave to his team during that last break. He said to them, the lead we've got now is nice, but I want to make it even nicer. This is when we put the hammer down. It doesn't look like he's ready to back off just yet, guys.
Again, for Portland, Harkless comes in for Gerald Henderson.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
Duncan with the block. They get it back. It's stolen by Green.
Cool, son.
Good on that shot, and with that, the Trailblazer leads from LaMarcus Aldridge. And a closer look here at the hustle stand for the Spurs.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
Give me that.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Very quick, son.
And when they desperately needed to get things turned around, they were able to rally and get back into it.
And, Greg, it was really their defense just as much as their offense that served as the real catalyst, and I think it allowed them to put that run together.
And you can sense them just starting to squeeze and shrink this lead a little bit.
Yeah, the game has a bit of a different texture than it did just a little bit ago, Greg. Suddenly, that lead is not looking as comfy and cozy as it once did.
Happy Sunday to you, man. Hope you're feeling good.
Parker kicks to Duncan.
Take his head.
Back to Leonard.
Go.
There's the three. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. 23 points for Leonard.
And you've got to love the energy right now. They got hot when they absolutely had to.
And really the focus right now is to stay hot. Not much time left to complete this comeback, so they've got to get it done now.
Shot clock at 5.
Put it in my paint again. Put it down. Take it up. Do that.
And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. On offense, here are the Spurs. They're on a 14-2 run here. Parker dishes to Duncan. Here's Green. Shot left block. Grab the pass to Harkless. To the right side. Kraft kicks to Plumlee.
Boy, this game has really started to heat up. I didn't think it could get any more high scoring than it already was.
Well, I tell you what, I don't mind it. You don't either, it sounds like. Good offense is entertaining, and that's exactly what we're getting.
And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Well, there's not a whole lot you can do about that move. That's just good offense. They were all over him, and he still managed to drain.
I'll be there in a minute.
That's good from Harkless. On offense, here are the Spurs. They're on a 16-7 run. Sinks it. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him.
Gotta score quickly.
Yeah, no time to waste here, partner.
And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended. Excellent communication on the inbound play there, guys. He got in a good position, and the pass was as it needed to be, on time and on target.
That's good.
Shot.
And the Trailblazers lead by 6.
Really just continuing to increase the lead. This one should be easy for the rest of the way.
Yeah, and you know, Greg, at this late stage, a lead like that has a team really feeling quite good about itself, and deservedly so.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
Proud of you, son. Come back and see me. Go ahead, quit, son.
Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. To the inside. It's stolen by Aminu. And so it's Portland winning this one. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
Thank you for joining us